Reaching out to your deepest curiosity. Incredible. Crossing concrete lines. Irresistible. Connecting you to the best days of your life. With our quirky car filled with even quirkier characters, showcasing the beauty and extent of our national roads network, and showcasing how communities have benefited from road improvements and opened new markets in the travel and tourism industry, just through a world-class road network, revealing the secrets behind the construction of South Africa's most iconic roads, rambling estates, and fantastic travel destinations. South Africa's most incredible traveling series is finally here. We're going to take you around the country to some of the favorite destinations. Today, we are headed to the breathtaking landscape of the beautiful Eastern Cape.
My name is Brandon Mpete. I'm a business intelligence analyst for South African breweries. I sort of play a role of an internal consultant. I do a lot of, like project-based work. We run it agile. So mostly you find that I'm a scrum master. And yeah, we just deliver, projects efficiently.
My name is Kumwo Mahole. I am a holistic wellness practitioner. I'm a writer and traveler.
My name is Mandisa Jakavula, also known as Man's Not Hot. I'm a social media influencer, but mostly content creator, well known for my vlogs that I do in Spitori. Yeah.
I couldn't sleep actually the first, the day before the trip. I actually couldn't sleep. I was tossing and turning because of the excitement. I was wondering what's gonna happen, how is it gonna go, all of that. So I woke up pretty a bit late. I got a call. I made it on time though. So how the trip started for me was a bit adventurous, and I feel like that's just something to tell.
I'm a content creator. I always think of making content and always think of showing people what I see, So I thought, it's gonna be fun. I like being on the road. I like the scenery. I like stopping. I like pictures a lot.
You never know. You never know. Get ready. I was excited, but a little bit nervous because I'm traveling with people I've never traveled with before.
It is said, if you want to go quickly, go alone. If you want to go far, go together. Construction of the breathtaking Msigaba Bridge in the Eastern Cape is a collaborative process that is led by SANRAL, the Department of Transport, local communities, SMMEs, and the construction joint venture Mixa. This is the Eastern Cape at work. Here's to world-class infrastructure.
Okay, guys. Okay, what are you sitting?
I think I'm going to sit this side.
Where would you be comfortable sitting?
I'm fine here. I'm good here.
Fine here.
Yeah, I'm good. Yeah, I'm good.
I'll just hop in the back.
Sweet.
Alright.
Sweet.
You guys.
I'll take it from the top. This trip started in Johannesburg. Centurion, Johannesburg, Gauteng.
Let's do this. Let's rock. Let's rock. As soon as we got in the car, we all got along, we were laughing, we were chatting.
No, chill.
I travel a lot by bus, and by car. I don't like flying at all. So my ideal trip is just traveling by car or vehicle, whatever.
I don't think it's bad.
It's not bad. It's not bad. I'm not going to lie to you. It wasn't bad.
It is bad. It is bad. Let's see. It is bad. It is bad. Let's see.
So I missed this, watching the mountains, the animals, the road. I missed all of it, and I'm so glad that I got to relive that again, but with different people. So now it's not just me and my family, it's not just me and my mom and my grandma, it's just me and my entire, and people I've never met before, and we just connected like we've been knowing each other.
And the trip in general has been fun. We made so many stops. We saw a lot of construction on the road. The roads were very smooth. I was able to sleep through the ride. It was really fun. I really enjoyed myself.
You know, the drive to Durban itself was it was a bit long because like in a road trip, it's not like just driving straight. You know what I mean? There's a lot that happens. There was a lot of stopping. You know, like I got to stop in places I've never stopped in. Harrismith. You know, it was really interesting seeing all of the, you know, like the roadworks that's also just happening, just coming from Johannesburg to Durban itself. You know, like normally, like when you're traveling and there's a lot of roadwork happening, you get a lot of stops and go that causes traffic. So I just like how from a management perspective, it was really amazing to see that none of that existed. It was really flowing. You know, even with all of the construction, it was still a very smooth and beautiful ride. I don't know if you guys have been seeing, there's been a lot of construction on the road.
Yes.
You know, I see there are a lot of, there's a lot of engineering happening. There's like, they're doing a lot to do, you know, like to the roads.
Yeah.
So just from you guys and just reflecting and just introspecting on everything that you guys have seen, like how do you guys feel about that?
I mean, so far it's been quite a smooth ride.
Yeah?
Yeah, I really enjoyed that.
Yeah.
You know, no bumps in the road.
Yeah.
I managed to actually sleep in the car, and it's okay. Now I woke up refreshed.
It's refreshing.
Yeah, it's so refreshing.
Also, like,
Yeah.
a privilege, bruh. You know, the resources that we have in this country for like things like this. Kind of dope, bruh.
Yeah.
And it's stunning. So gorgeous.
Dude, have you ever been on a train and it's just like,
Yeah, it's just a smooth
I've been
ride.
having that thing since we left, like, Pretoria, bruh. It's just like, let's go.
Yeah.
You know? Yeah, but honestly, though, it's really dope. It's really dope.
No, true.
Because I don't think a lot of, because people don't travel,
Yeah.
they don't get to like see these things.
Yeah.
But fella go and run go Joburg.
No, true.
So I want to end run go Joburg. They don't know, and I keep saying I'm on the road a lot. They're always doing something.
Yeah, true.
Always doing something. When you're traveling, there's always gonna be some stop and go somewhere because they're fixing something or they're improving something. And not everyone gets to see that, bruh. Not everyone gets to see that. I think.
And actually speaking of that, like for me, like with all the construction happening, with all, you know, like the new work that has been done to the road, like one would expect that there'll be delays, like one would expect that it'll be very bumpy, you know, we'd have to be on traffic at a stop and go. Okay, so what then?
Oh
Oh my God.
How am I? I fish, guys, get one fish.
Where's the beach?
The fish, I'll burn one fish. No, the fish.
There it is.
The fish. But such a win. Pangano nga fela. Pangano nga siluso. Oh my word. We're baffled. We're baffled. Guys, I'm sorry.
The highlight was definitely the beach. For me, that whole experience, you know, getting to relax, get some fresh air, see the beach, that was my highlight.
So it was really interesting coming from Johannesburg to Durban. It had been a while. Mostly people fly, but I would really urge everybody to actually now start driving. You know, it's really beautiful seeing, and actually just even from Durban to you know, like to Margate, you know, taking the coastal areas is very beautiful. It's really something to experience.
This was actually my first time in the Eastern Cape, and I've been meaning to come to the Eastern Cape. So being able to take the trip from Durban through Margate, coming here, it was such a great experience. The roads are so smooth, and it was such a smooth ride. I enjoyed it. It was my first time. I got to see so much. I got to learn a lot as well. So it's been such a great journey, and I'd recommend it to anyone. Like, I would call my friends. I even want to plan a road trip. We should all come here and see our beautiful country.
Coming here as well, it is a journey. Coming here is an experience. It's a very scenic route. It is really interesting. Like when we landed here, you know, induction, because of course there's a construction site. Induction was amazing. You know, we were onboarded really well on just how the safety measures being given, the safety helmets, and you know, and the bibs and everything was really cool. But there's also it's just a lot going on. Like from a surveying perspective, this man behind me really is looking at that big block over there, and is really just trying to just understand the circumference and how it will hold. It was really interesting finding out all of this about construction and engineering, which I had no idea about. You know, us being in the social media and everything, and not really knowing what happens in the industry space. It was really eye-opening.
I took too many pictures. I took videos. I think when it's time for me to post, people are gonna get some really dope content. And you know, I am selling quite a few of my pictures. Windows 7, you must buy my pictures. I'm selling them. I'm selling them on some wallpaper vibes. I'm doing that. I'm kidding. But like, yeah, I did take a lot of pictures. The trees were amazing. Like, it was just like, nature is beautiful. And, you know, having been reminded that right now, I feel like I needed it. And it was gorgeous, man. I've always thought that Sanral, what they're doing with their job is amazing, right? It's quite mind-blowing how they want to cut through those valleys and all those trees, and how they take the environment like very much into consideration when they do all those things. Like, I'm so proud of them, and how they're connecting us. So Brandon mentioned that it takes like it cuts the time down from 3 hours, and which is very impressive and thoughtful as well. I'm happy that they're doing this.
Up next, we discover how Sanral is playing its role in safeguarding threatened and protected species on the wild coast. Sanral has used specialist studies conducted during the environmental impact assessment to ensure that the N2 N3 project avoids the most sensitive areas of the Ponderland. This will ensure that the construction of the bridge will have no direct impact on the environment in the gorge, almost 200 meters below.
There are endangered species in the area. I'll mention the plants and also the vultures, the Cape vultures that are in the area. So with the plants, we have rescued a number of plants from the areas that will be impacted by construction activities. So they are endangered species, but we classify, you know, plants based on their status of conservation and also on their cultural, you know, importance. So there's those that are endemic, there's those that are protected and threatened, and then there's those that have indigenous and cultural importance. We still have to move certain plants in areas that will be affected by construction activities. For the bridge site, we have already done that exercise, hence we have the plants that are in the holding areas. And we now are starting, you know, a process of replanting those plants that have been in the holding areas. But for the other road packages coming, we will need to rescue those plants as well. What inspired me is the interdependency between plants and animals. When I grew up, I loved, you know, to see the beauty of butterflies. You know, that really got me, and I wanted to learn more. Why are these butterflies like this? Why are they so colorful? And then at school, I did biology. That gave me an insight, you know, on the plant processes and the animal processes. And then going to university, I did, my majors were botany and zoology, which went deep now into your animal and your plant life. And then I learned later on about sustainable development goals, which talk more about the development in an environmental, you know, sustainable manner. So basically that's what has inspired me, and it keeps me going. I love what I do. I enjoy what I do. As you can see, I'm here looking at, you know, the environment, you know, on this mega project. My main role at Sanral is to provide a specialist advice and input during the planning, the design, construction phases and maintenance phase of all Sanral projects in the southern region, which is the Eastern Cape province. So what happens now is Sanral still has to also adhere to legislative requirements and also to our own policies. So my role is to make sure that SANRAL adheres to those legislative requirements, builds and maintains the roads in a sustainable manner, and taking care of the receiving environment.
The next time you are on our roads,
ready for school? Yes. I'm proud of you.
take a moment to think of the number one. How in a country of over 54 million people, there is no one quite like you. No one does life the way you do. That's you. The number one. Now, do the one thing that will keep us all safe on our roads.
No, thank you.
So that you can continue the journey of your life. The journey of the number one.
Measures that has been put in place to protect the environment in this area. I'll start with the environmental approvals that were received from different government authorities, that we have to adhere to those environmental approvals. We have different levels of personnel that monitor compliance with the environmental approvals. We have the site environmental officer who's full-time on site that does compliance monitoring on a daily basis. We have the independent environmental control officers that come to site once every month. They also monitor our compliance. We have the independent auditor that also does quarterly audits. We have the project environmental manager who manages the whole construction and the environmental, activities, for the project. And then we have SANRAL also, who has the environmental department that is also looking on the environmental management side of the project. What can you do to help the environment? Looking at this area, what I think it would be the protection of our water resources. I have noticed that there's a lot of development in the area where people develop in wetland areas, thereby impacting those water resources. Every day, as an everyday person, I would urge you to start conserving water. We've seen the issue of drought in the areas. So yes, conserve water, use water sparingly. Make sure that the resources we have every day will be there for even our future generation. The Cape Vulture Colony is not likely to be impacted by construction activities. However, we are monitoring construction activities that might impact, on the vultures. We've had specialists come to site to monitor blasting activities if there's any impact on the vultures. And to date, there has been no impact identified. But SANRAL will still continue monitoring the impacts of construction to the vultures.
As per Contract Participation Goals CPG, at the end of May 2021, 27 local suppliers, 30 local service providers, 20 local subcontractors, 31 local persons were employed out of a total workforce of 509 persons on site. 147 locals were employed by the main contractor and 163 by subcontractors. Furthermore, 22 SMMEs were trained on the tendering process and SEDA SMME support was completed on site. Manufacturing Development Program SABS 6 SMMEs commenced but was delayed by Level 3 lockdown. A biodiversity offset agreement has also been established with the Eastern Cape Parks and Tourism Board. This will ensure that the Pondoland biome is preserved for generations to come through the declaration, rehabilitation and ongoing protection of some 15,000 hectares of new conservation areas.
For myself, being a city boy, always just going to the airports and flying out, we are really missing out a lot on our country. We're just really missing out a lot on South Africa. There's a lot of beautiful things happening, especially in the Eastern Cape here where we are. There's actually like the highest waterfall out here that I'd never seen, I didn't even know about. But this is something that I actually got to discover from traveling, from using the road, from actually experiencing our country, seeing so many things I didn't know I had no idea the Eastern Cape looked like this. I had no idea. It's so green, it's so lush, it's beautiful. It's like, you know, the mountains. It's amazing.
SANRAL to me was just roads and tolls. Now SANRAL is an experience. Like, they're literally creating experiences for residents, for citizens, for visitors, for everyone. For me, it's inclusion, it's diversity, it's beauty, it's family, it's everything good about our country. And I'm really happy. I'm really happy about it. It makes my heart happy. I love it.